In case you missed it, Melly got blindsided by the feds by making Bortland snitch against him. The news wrote, a no communication order has been filed in the Melly trial. The order makes Melly and Bortland completely separate. No talking, no lawyer. Talk, just silence. As the prosecutors are forcing Bortland to snitch by trying Melly and him together next trial.
And you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. Just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
The scariest part is if Bortland knows he didn't commit this serious crime, he won't physically be able to sit there and take life in prison to the chin, making it likely he will point the finger against Melly and snitch on him however this came. At a convenient time, as the news just wrote, Mellier's lawyers submitted their last paperwork for Melly to be released on a bond till trial in September. This time they have full confidence Melly will be released from jail, as Mellier's mother gave an update on his bond situation.
We just still praying. I know I said I would I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Oh, Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
Because a new bond package was put together for him. With it announced, Melly's legal team proposed an unspecified bond that would be paid by his record label, 300 Entertainment. If granted bond, they assured the judge that Melly would be on house arrest, wear an ankle monitor, and hire round-the-clock security to keep tabs on him. The bond package was thought to be so good that a rapper wrote, "That boy Melly coming home, I feel it," as the evidence they have to prove Melly isn't being treated like a human is from his mother explaining what they've been doing to him.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
His lawyers even brought up evidence to put reasonable doubt to the feds, as they showed the GPS evidence that proves Melly wasn't in the car when the crime went down. Instead, he was actually sprinting down the street and hiding in a bush.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah, he's like, yeah, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
However, the prosecutors responded by doing something disturbing, as the chance of Melly being released was getting better. The prosecutors brought in both his best friend Bortland and his ex-girlfriend Mariah, as they're making deals with them to testify against Melly. Mariah was hiding out of the United States for the past 3 years. She was supposed to testify in the first trial, but never showed, which is what got her arrested.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
But the judge made a deal with Mariah as she agreed to show up to testify in the second Melly trial. Mariah was then released from jail and wrote to Facebook, "Thank you to my village. I love y'all so much. God's plan, not mine, as the feds believe." A call between Mariah and Melly went down while the crime was going down, which could break the case wide open, but there's also witness tampering charges they've placed on Melly as they found interesting evidence in Mariah's iCloud account that makes it seem like Melly forced her not to testify in the first trial. Surprisingly, the witness tampering charge carries a life sentence regardless if Melly took out Sack Chaser and Juvie.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
Due to Melly supposedly witnessed tampering with the jail phones, he hasn't been allowed to use a phone for months, as his mother did an interview and spoke about how unfair it is.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But if the feds are right and have proof Melly tampered on the jail phones that record every call, then that's why they've kept him off. However, Bortland is another problem for Melly, because Melly's lawyer tried pinning the crime on Bortland in the first trial, and Portland's furious.
Those were his lines. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 bodies, car riddled with. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Melly's lawyer tried painting the picture that Bortland was with them when they passed. Bortland's been lying to the feds, and he even had firearm residue on his hands after the crime, as an investigator shared further about the firearm.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of heart residue and 2 component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of heart residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was heart residue present on the hands.
Bortland hated this, so when court wrapped up for that day, Bortland tweeted, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji as if he's accepting a deal. However, the Bortland interrogation from the night of the crime is what's really scary for Melly, because Bortland lied repeatedly trying to cover up the crime for Melly.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music, getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy, almost home, you know what I'm saying? And like, just out of nowhere, like, I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car, and I almost crashed the car.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to
75.
Expressway.
Then you took 75 south?
To the officers, it's clear Bortland's story isn't adding up, as the officer would catch Bortland in his...
Here's the hard part, where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area, and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as 1 shell casing. They didn't find 1 piece of glass. Nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's the class.
I mean, for whatever reason, your 2 friends Are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my like,
these your two, I'm assuming close friends.
Yeah.
And you're doing them an inservice by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, man. I don't like. What do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell case?
Although the interrogation only got worse, Bortland begins getting angry with the officer for not believing his story.
I told y'all the story, and that's it, bro. I don't even talk about it anymore. Like, cause I told y'all. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay, just so you know, all right, because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. There's going to be a lot more questions. And we're not trying to piss you off. The thing is, we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.
So with Portland trying to keep quiet now and not share any other information, the officer stops asking about the story and instead starts asking about specific details from the night and the moments of the drive. By how was Portland driving? Did he crash into anything and more?
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's got to be some evidence there. There's going to be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys opened the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's going to be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's going to be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
But in a weird twist to the interrogation, the officer straight up asked Bortland, if you knew who did this, would you tell me?
By just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
I wouldn't want to be a part of it.
As this question tests if Bortland's willing to lie straight to his face or not, but Bortland shakes his head no, as he's worried of even speaking in case he has a voice crack or gives off any other sign to indicate that he's been lying during the whole interrogation. But when you combine the interrogation with all the other evidence against Melly, it gets bad because Melly sent a text message hours after the crime admitting to it.
The PT Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
Also on his phone was video of Melly and Bortland only hours after the crime.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! But no, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
They didn't show one bit of sadness for Sack Chaser and Juvie because Melly didn't feel sadness for them, as he was happy to commit the crime if it meant he got a bigger slice of the pie of YNW revenue, just like this former O-Black member shares.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walter Bam, I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Melly originally told King Von this back in the day and asked him what to do, as Yernu is a registered business where Melly and Bortland performed concerts, sold merchandise, and did promotions for companies to earn money, Sack Chaseras and Juvie. Wanted an even 25% split of the money across the 4 members, but did zero work for it. However, the same money in that YNW bank account seems to be running low. It was announced Melly's mom trends after she announces that she started a fans account. While he stands trial, this surprised the internet, and we had academics share this.